Now, guys, can you believe it's been almost 40 years since Coca-Cola changed its formula only to reverse itself just 77 days later?
What we didn't know was how many thousands of you would phone and write asking us to bring back the classic taste of original Coca-Cola. Well, we read and we listened, and you know the rest. They're both yours, the new taste of Coke and Coca-Cola Classic. Your right of choice is back.
So they coexisted for a little bit, but New Coke was eventually phased out in what many call a marketing blunder. So let's talk about blunders that that retirees make with their money.
You know, when you think about retirement is a point in your life that doesn't allow really the luxury of time to make up for most mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't get really a do-over,
Right.
and you really got to try to get it right. So those retirement blunders are something extremely important to try to avoid making when you're moving into retirement. And, you know, here at America's Retirement Headquarters, this is something that we spend a lot of time talking to people about. And we could spend an entire show talking about this topic. One of the things that you can do if you want to get educated and spend more time on this topic, and I would encourage you to go over to our website, americasretirementheadquarters.com. Click on the events tab. We've got a couple classes that we're going to be teaching for about an hour and a half on this topic. It's called the Baby Boomers Basics. We'll be going over the course, going over these details. But some of the things that we talk about, Scott, are like taking Social Security early.
Sure.
You know, there's what's considered full retirement age, and it's, you know, based upon the age that you're born. And usually for most folks, full retirement age is considered 66 or 67. And if you look at it, according to the Social Security's website, how many people do you think are choosing to take Social Security early? What percentage?
It's crazy. It's like, I know the answer to this, but, you know, I mean, 70% of the people take it early.
Yeah, 70%. So 70% are accepting a lifetime penalty by drawing benefits early. And, you know, the thing about Social Security is it can be a cornerstone for somebody's retirement.
Sure.
It's been there for a long time. It's inflation adjusted. It's about to get one of the biggest increases with a cost of living increase in over 40 years. And, you know, by taking the penalty and accepting that penalty early, it can have a big impact over time. That could be a retirement blunder. The next blunder, number 2, is failing to account for healthcare costs. You know, CNBC estimates that a healthy 65-year-old couple are going to realistically need to budget about $400,000 to cover healthcare expenses in retirement. And don't even forget, when you're thinking about long-term care, you know, Medicare does not cover extended nursing home and assisted living care. And I know, Scott, this is a blunder that you're trying to help people navigate and been spending a lot of time educating people about their choices on.
Absolutely. 400,000 is a huge number over the life of your retirement. You know, if you're looking at 65, you know, retiring at 65, and if you've, you know, depending on how long you're going to live, you can get another 20 years, 85 years old, 400,000 over a 20-year period is really a tough number to swallow. And if you don't properly prepare, dental costs could be, you know, $5,000-$6,000 right there. You're out of pockets if you don't have the proper plan put in place. Prescription costs. I've run into, we're doing the AEP right now, annual enrollment period, and I'm going through and reviewing prescriptions, and I'm really shocked at the number of people that are on these high dollar, Trulicity and Januvia. These are like $1,700 a month. These medications. If you don't have the right plan put in place, I mean, that is a big number, and that's how you get to that 400,000.
Yeah, you know, retirement blunder number 3 is underestimating how long you'll live. And
Sure.
I can't tell you, you know, in the 28 plus years of me doing this, sitting across the table and, you know, talking to a couple and saying, you know, that's probably an unrealistic number to be able to pull out of your retirement accounts if you want that money to last the rest of your lifetime. And, you know, what I'll hear people say is, well, you know, my mom and dad didn't live past the mid-age 75,
Sure.
so I'm just going to spend it while I can. And, you know, why we want people to enjoy their retirement, you know, what happens when we're sitting across the table and you're 76 and you're looking at me and I'm looking at you and you're still here.
You're still here.
You know, people are living longer. There's been great advancements in healthcare. What I would say is when you develop your retirement plan, bet on you living. You know, if you look at the research by Stanford, nearly 2/3 of men nearing retirement underestimate the current life expectancy of a modern 65-year-old man by 5 years or more. So bet on you living and develop a plan that provides lifetime peace of mind with your income plan. Retirement blunder number 4 is burning through money in the early years. So again, you've saved and accumulated money and you want to enjoy this great time. And I get it, while you're young and healthy, you can do that. Vacationing can be great. It can be a dream, but it's certainly expensive if you take one of those, river cruises. If you go out and you buy big, expensive things right in retirement time, those can be costly mistakes in the long term. I would say encourage you, before you burn through your money in your early years, you make sure that you spend time talking with your financial professional to see how the impact that is going to be. And that's not to say that you can't have money set aside for fun stuff, right? Like last year, the market, in 2021, it did good. So a lot of people maybe exceeded their goals last year. That could be a good year to take excess money out while things are good and pay for some of those things like the home improvements or the trips that you want to take. And then years like 2022, these are the years maybe you tighten the belt down a little bit and you don't burn through that money in the early years. So a lot of the retirement blunders can help make sure, if you avoid those, keep you on track for the future. Again, if you want to learn more about the retirement blunders, come out to one of our classes. We have classes all the time that are coming up. We're going to be talking about basic baby boomer basics. And those events are online at our website, americasretirementheadquarters.com. Simply click on the events tab, register, come out, and we'll teach you more great retirement tips.
You can also find out more about it by giving a call, 419-794-3030. These are all mistakes that retirees make with their money, and they're things that can be avoided if they have a proper plan put in place. Not like Coke, where they're able to kind of undo their mistake 77 days later and just become a punchline for eternity. It's something that you want to go ahead and have a plan put in place ahead of time and just avoid making the mistakes altogether. Schedule a time, 419-794-3030, or go to the website, americasretirementheadquarters.com.